It's absolutely ridiculous that the new meta nowadays, here in America at least, is young men trying to do everything that they can to possibly end up ending themselves, right? You're having them trading their health, their long term health, a long life for this short life that is just full of life, or supposedly what they think is life, when in reality they're probably harming themselves beyond belief. You're having so many people, especially in the Looksmaxxing community, just going on all sorts of drugs and substances, especially peptides, which a lot are made in China and have little to no research done on those substances, on the effects on the human body, especially when you're taking these things long term. And they're taking it as if it is like candy, right? And what's funny to me is that you're having some of these Looksmaxxers talking down on vaccines and stuff, saying how harmful it is, how harmful the sun is, but they'll turn the cheek and take these substances that have no scientific research done on them long term. You're having people taking peptides that make their skin tan, saying that, oh, I don't want to go out to the sun because it's going to give me skin cancer. Where the fuck is the common sense in that? It just doesn't make sense to me. And what's more crazy to me is that a lot of these men are just trying to make themselves look the best so they can validate themselves for the women. It's almost as if the modern day male has already known about these issues for the past amount of, who knows, years or even decades, ever since social media came to be. And yet these men are still trying to pull these narcissistic, low-loving women, gold diggers, hoes, whatever it may be, and yet they're trading their health for it. They're trading the one thing that is most important to them for something that is external and really doesn't mean that much, because a lot of these women just want to use them for clout to make themselves gain popularity. But going back to the substance abuse that we're seeing, especially in younger men, we're trading discipline and actually motivation for wanting to achieve these things, whether it is becoming tan or gaining muscle or losing fat, whatever the case may be. And we're just trying to get there as fast as possible. And we're seeing this in society all across the board, especially when it comes to financials, right? You're having people wanting to get rich just like that at a snap of a finger. They're buying these courses for day trading or drop shipping, thinking that they'll become the next multi-millionaire off of it, when in reality they're just being sold a dream. And the ones that are making all the money are selling the shovels. So we're trading all these natural ways that you could obtain a really good body. Perhaps you can't change your height, right? But perhaps when it comes to your skin color, if you were to go out in the sun and get a tan, you could change that. You could put on sunscreen to perhaps minimize your chances of getting skin cancer, although you're not guaranteed because of genetic factors and all sorts of other things. Perhaps if you want to gain muscle, maybe instead of shooting yourself up with TRT when you're a teenager who's still going through these hormonal processes and things are not finalized yet within one's own body, perhaps you can go to the gym for 2, 3, 4 days a week and try to see if you get any results or strength from it, given enough time, whether it is many months or many years, and just overall evaluate your situation. Because again, there are people that need to go on TRT because their body just doesn't produce the hormone, and it is failing them in that regard. But we've traded discipline for just short-term gratification at all costs. No matter if you're going to drop dead by tomorrow, as long as you feel good right now, that is what matters. And that is a really sad way of thinking, a selfish way of thinking in my eyes, which is the Looksmaxxing community in a nutshell. But the problem is that a lot of these people, especially the ones that are abusing all these substances at such a young age, they're 18, 19, 20 years old. Then you're having others who are, 16 or 17, still in high school, that are wanting to get on these things, are already on them because they were taught online by these stupid influencers that are making so much money off of their fan base that are, again, just young kids, to go ahead and just try it so you can maximize your output, your outlet, your look. And what is this going to cause? It's going to cause eventually these conditions, these illnesses that will be so debilitating that they're going to wish that they're dead. And a lot of people think death happens in an instant fashion. You just get a heart attack and you drop dead. But that is really, for the vast majority of people, not how it works. A lot of people suffer for many months or many years before they ultimately die, with some suffering for their entire lives if they're developed these chronic conditions from who knows what, and they have to live with it for the rest of their life and deal with it. But ultimately, here in America, people are just trying to artificially inflate themselves within this fakeness by whether it is bone smashing so they can make their physical appearance look a lot better, or adding socks in their shoes to make themselves appear taller. Everything is just becoming artificial, especially when it comes to the use of substances to try to maximize their looks at the expense of their health. And that is the new meta, unfortunately.